You no finish, they won't fight us. If them they run, them no fit catch up. I know they form say I too righteous. No con they form say you too like us. You no get the time for the hate.
In today's video, we'll be talking about job opportunities in our country. Something that is it's a pain. So, when it comes to job opportunities in our country, there are many things that people, youth in general, do not know about, or maybe they are not that exposed into how things are being done. And I'd really appreciate if ever the HR talks be a norm, an event where we have like multiple HR partners from different companies, and they explain all the process and all the requirements from advertising to appointing, because I feel like there is a gap, and this gap, and it is very hard for one to know what the gap is if they are not exposed to these things, right? So what I mean by this is, when a company is hiring, right, first of all, they advertise, né? And in that job advertisement, there is a job description, and there are requirements below, underneath, right? So in most cases, us as the youth, we just browse through the job description, we just look at the job requirements, and we just apply. That is the first mistake we do as people, because let me tell you something. The first thing you do, the expectation you have after applying for a job opportunity is for you to be called for an interview. First, the question you should be asking yourself is, do you qualify for that position? Do you have all the required qualifications and job experience and all of that? That is the first question you should be asking yourself before even having an expectation, right? But however, I'm sitting here today and I can say that 50% of us, the youth, we apply for job opportunities we do not qualify for. And in the qualification, mostly the requirements, the most important thing is the years of experience and the qualification and the system used. Maybe this can be, but for now, I want to just talk mainly on the job, the work experience and the qualification. Let's start with the qualification. You cannot apply to be a teacher without a teaching degree. You cannot apply to be a mining something without that relevant qualification, right? Let's say, for example, 10 years ago, the qualification requirement was not this serious. The requirement was not this intense, right? So you might find that someone had been employed for over 10 years, they've been in the industry for long, so obviously they have the required number of years, they have the skills and expertise. Obviously they'll have to apply for greener pastures elsewhere, the same job, but then different companies, but that company A is looking for a qualification. Then let me tell you something, that person won't get the job, regardless of them being in the industry for long, regardless of them knowing the processes and the procedures, but then they won't get that job. The reason why is because they do not have the required qualifications. And this is an audit finding for HR. HR can't hire if it was there on the job description, on the job advertisement. It is by law for them to comply to what they wrote, because it went through them. They're the one who compiled that. So my chat now regarding this qualification thing is, if you are that person with no qualification in the respective industry you're currently at, my dear, please get your qualification and please do the right thing, because A lot is happening in the industry, and the best thing you can do for yourself is just at least have the required qualification, and that is a minimum of a national diploma. So our country's minimum requirement is a national diploma, NQ level 6, 3 years to complete. So just to use an opportunity, some companies, they do have bursary programs. You can apply for that and ensure that you get the required qualification. So now let's move to the job experience. Us as the youth, one, either we look at the job experience and we will say 10 years, I don't have it, or I want to apply for this job opportunity. Or rather, we'll say 10 years, let me just apply. And you apply, right? Let me tell you something. When companies, and this is one thing that my former HR told me when I was still doing my internship, which is nice, very important, something that I've learned in most cases. So HR will advertise, will put up a job opportunity, and they'll say they are looking for someone with 5+ working experience. So here's the thing. So basically, I want you to overlook the working experience part. One, the reason why I'm saying this is because sometimes HR can't afford the 5 years plus person, but they can afford you with the 3 years. You get it? So it is very important for you to ensure that in your minimal years of experience, you are acquiring all the necessary skills, expertise, and knowledge within your industry so that you can be able to sell yourself and succeed, right? But here with the 5 years of experience, we don't know how many times this person moved, and a whole lot is happening here, and therefore that is why the working experience part, in most cases, it is overlooked, but the qualification part, it cannot be overlooked. So my plea with you is to get your house in order in terms of studying for a qualification you are currently working. If you do not have the relevant qualification, I do know someone who just literally was like, the door was shut in front of his face because he had the knowledge, he knew he was in the industry, he nailed his interview, but unfortunately didn't get the job because of what? A qualification part he did not have. So unfortunately, these things happen. So in closing, I'd like to say, study for what you are currently doing. Get it? The most important part is, it doesn't matter where it's from, honestly speaking. The most important thing is the name and the NQF, and if SACA can actually confirm your qualification. And UJ, it has like multiple online courses right now, and which is great. So meaning you can study from wherever you are without you having to attend actual classes or contact classes, which is amazing, right? And what else? So, and another thing is the experience part. Well, just look at it with one eye open and just close your eyes and just make some room for disappointment, because initially you do not qualify for that job opportunity, but you just took a leap of faith, right? So basically, this is the end of the video. Job opportunities in our country is a very heartbreaking thing, but today I'm just focusing on people who are already in the industry. Basically, yeah, this is it. So give me your thoughts. What's your take on job opportunities in our country?
I'm bank on it. You can put 100 grand on it. Anything I said, I'll stamp on it.